How you doing, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the EH and the MH stand. So today is just all about how to set it up and get everything on the go. So first things first, we're going to be talking about the sidebars. So the sidebars are basically just the ones that actually hold the stand in its position. With the sidebars as well, you need to connect the wheels. So obviously with the sides here, you have 4 holes in here and you connect them in the further side at the back, which I'll demonstrate later on. Here in the middle, you'll have the middle bar, and with the middle bar you basically have the attachments that you put on the sides once you connect the sidebars. And just have a quick relay on the screwdrivers just to go back on there. In your packet you should see the longest screws. These are for the sidebars to connect with the legs, so you should get a few of those. You will get extras, so if you do get extras, just pop it on the side. So if you get extras, just leave it on the side with the bag, so you know that you have extras. So moving on, we will be, once we install the middle bar, we'll focus on the pin rollers itself. This will hold the pin rollers, and we have the attachments here, so we put them in 3 different areas and then we screw them up. And yeah, that's pretty much the overview of it. And for this we would require a Phillips head screwdriver, so do make sure you have one and not a flathead. Okay, connect the legs with the sidebar. Obviously you have the 4 long length screws. So what you need to do first is basically make sure you have a sufficient amount of space. Just keep a workout. This should be facing out and that should be facing in. So what we're doing, we're basically turning upside down, so the machine will be coming, will be placed on top there, and then we're going to be putting the rollers down here. So it's quite simple. 4 different parts here. What we're going to do is quickly try and find adjustment here. That's gone through. You can squeeze that in. I mean, obviously either way would be good. How you want to do it, it's fine. You just pop it in like this. Obviously it takes some time to get through. Yeah, that's gone through. What we're going to do now is just align it gently so we can see if it's connecting up. So we pop it there, that's connecting up, and just gently push it in, and it should stick up like that. And then you just get your Phillips head and apply pressure to it. Just nice and gently pop it in. Obviously you want to even it out, so just get some even distribution before you actually tighten it up. So you want to make sure that it's threaded through clearly, because you will realise it is quite stiff when you first try and screw it. That's a good sign, so it means it's fresh threaded, so you won't have any issues there. So if I pop that in, just keep going there, apply more pressure. I mean, you can use the drill as well, that's no issues, but just be careful when you're applying it. Just pop it in. And once you're happy that everything's in position, you just need to tighten it up. So yeah, that's how you tighten up the wheels. Alright guys, so on the last part, I talked about how to connect the legs to the sidebar. You would need to do that with the other side as well, which is done here as well. Just bear in mind at the bottom, there are brakes as well. So down is where the brakes are on, and up is where the brakes are off. So be careful when you do stuff. You can do it, but I would advise putting on the brakes and completing this off. So in order to connect this to the side, we basically need to set up the components here. So out of the packet you'll basically get these 2. So what you need to do is just pop this inside, and basically you'll see like a little bump coming out. Get that out in there, yep. Get your Phillips head, and basically you just screw it. So what you're doing is basically just getting the thread to come out, and it makes it easier for you to align the screw with the middle part. Just do it full twist, you don't need to tighten it, just full twist and go through. And then what you do, you need to keep an eye out on which side you're going to put it in. So that's the outside of the leg, this is the inside. So what you need to do is pop this in from the front, and then just try and get the side here. If you look at the back, so that's the screw that's come out there perfectly. So that's what you want to try and do. I will try and get this in there as well. And there you go. So that part is now going through, and what we're going to do here is basically align that with that, and then we just screw it in, and that will tighten it up. Alright guys, so once you get your screws in, you're basically just going to connect them to both parts here. I would advise you to sit down, so it gives you a bit more position to hold the middle part. So what you can do is just slide it on top. You won't be able to see it from here, but if you just try and get an angle, pop it in. I mean, the best thing I could probably say is if you try and push it down, it would be quite firm, so that pretty much suggests that it's in position. So you just hold it in and you're ready to go. Just take your time, and then you'll slowly see the parts slowly going in. Just use the other side just to level it off. And then once you level it off, you just tighten it there at the end. You just want to make sure that it's gone through clearly, there's no damage. And once it gets more stiff, you know you're doing it right. It's tight. It's tight as well. So at the end, you'll basically get the product. Bear in mind, you can do it on either side, so you don't need to worry about which side you can choose. They're both the same side. And you basically just connect the same up with that part, exactly the same way I just explained it. The stands, just make sure it's sturdy. Obviously check the brakes, make sure everything's in order. You want to make sure everything is in place before you do anything else. Now, what we're going to do is basically we're setting up the side stands to apply, well, to place the rollers for your vinyls. Now right here we actually created one already just to show you what it would look like as an after product. And there's two parts to it. So then you have the screw bolt on and the screw itself. So you need to make sure that the screw bolt on is at the back of it. Put that through and just flip it over gently. And then you'll have 3 holes here, and you get 3 of these in a pair. Just simply pop that in until you find the thread of the other screw. Now this can take some time, so just be patient and you'll get there eventually. And once you realise it's gone through and it's getting a bit stiff, just make sure you twist it. Quickly get your Phillips head, holding the bottom of it, keep that plied upwards at the back and just keep pushing it down where it will eventually be tight, and that should be plied on solid. So you get the results of that exact same concept. You need to make sure both sides are tight, and you do this for this side, and then you just flip it over, and then you just have a free area here. You grab the other one, just make sure that's facing towards the inside part. So this is the outside of the machine. That's pretty much it. So we've set up the legs with the sidebars, and then we set up the sidebars with the middle bar, just to make sure everything's in order. And then after that, what we did was we got the roller holders and just connected them up, and you're good to go. Now what you want to do is just test the rollers itself. Just want to see if it's in the right length. Now if it's stiff a bit like that, that's perfectly fine. You kept it in the tight position. Just push it out a tiny bit and it'll slide in. And just have a quick roll, just making sure that all the bearings and mechanisms are all working fine. Because this is really important, especially if you're doing vinyl cutting with large amounts of vinyls. Pop that in there. And then we've got different size lengths as well. So if the vinyl is starting to get really thin in lengths, then obviously you decrease the size. If the vinyl is quite thick and big, bulky, you've got a bigger addition to it. And that's pretty much it. And just to finish everything off, you do get these caps with it as well. So what you need to do is just basically like dust cover caps, where you just cover these areas. They are quite stiff, which is a good thing. You would need to hammer it down or put quite a lot of pressure on there. But once you're done with that, you're good to go. And if you do need to dismantle this stand, just get a flathead screwdriver and just pop it off, and you're good to go.